GM and welcome back to the channel for another update on Bitcoin and Solana. It's currently Saturday the 30th of March. Quite a few things I want to talk about today. We're going to be talking about alt season, institutional adoption, new projects on Solana and more. As always, the structure is Solana news, Bitcoin charts, then Solana charts. So let's dive right into the news. Starting off with the main event today, it is my birthday, so if you want to say happy birthday, smash that like button or leave it in the comments below. Moving on to Solana. Now, I'm going to have a video coming soon on the top validator for Solana. I've narrowed it down to 3 different validators. That's Malia 1, which offers the highest yield, Juicy Stake, which offers good yield, but also offers airdrops, and Step Finance, who also offer good yield, but similarly do airdrops for Step for stakers. Now, Step has a website, so I quickly want to look at this. They advertise themselves as the front page for Solana. You can do a lot of different things on Step, but the main thing I want to do today is the See Your Portfolio. What this allows you to do is basically copy and paste your wallet addresses into Step, and you can have a breakdown of all of your different accounts, how much, NFTs, stakes, balances are worth. Now, it is a pretty cool interface. And if you did pre-order the Solana Saga 2, you actually did get an airdrop of this for about 500 Step, currently worth $40. I've put one of my wallets in here. I will say the balance isn't correct because it hasn't come up with all of the assets that I do hold. Some of these have gone under the radar. The interface is quite cool though, bar not showing one of my assets. But the main purpose I'm putting this on your radar is because I'm going to be staking with them, and once again, I'll let you know what these top 3 validators offer in about 1 month's time. So I'm looking to stake maybe 10 Solana with each of these 3 validators. We'll come back into it in a month, we'll unstake, and we'll compare rewards across the 3 of them. But if you do end up staking with Step as well, then they will airdrop Step to you every now and then. It's unfortunately not every epoch, I believe it's every 2 weeks. If you come over to their dashboard, you can see you can take it a step further, and you can actually stake your Step. So you can stake your Solana, be airdrop Step, and then you can stake your Step to earn more Step. So even if their validator doesn't have the best APY, this may be one of the best validators to stake with for rewards. How staking Step works is you basically stake your Step, you earn 15.3% APY, and when you stake your Step, you receive X Step. This is exactly the same process as staking whales and receiving X whales. You will receive X Step for staking Step, and over time, X Step will be worth more than Step. So when you come to unstake, you'll be able to receive more Step. Moving on from that, I want to double down on another amazing project on Solana, that is Whales Market. We talked about it quite some time ago when it first released, and it was trading around about 90 cents. It went all the way up to $4.55, and it is now corrected down to $1.80. Other projects we've been talking about on this channel are absolutely popping in terms of the meme market. Triangle is on a tear to the upside right now. It's got a little bit of resistance to take towards the upside, and then in my opinion it's going to enter price discovery and probably surge to a 3 million market cap very soon. That's almost another 10x. On the other hand, Chonky, a project which we gave you all the way back down here and doubled down on all the way back down here, has done over an 8x since we did the double down. And also another new project which I dev'd, a tiny market cap right now, Polish Cow, OG dancing meme, now dancing in the Solana Phantom wallet, currently an 18.5k market cap. Just had a fair launch on pump.fun. Bonding is 62% complete. Once it's complete, liquidity will be deposited into Radium. We'll get listed on Radium, we'll get listed on Jupiter, we'll get listed on Dex Screener. This will be the first dancing Polish Cow token on Solana. So very based, if you want to get in, I'll leave a link to this down below. Let's talk about Solana on-chain quickly. The number of active addresses on the monthly time frame in the month of March have almost hit a new all-time high, but the monthly new addresses have absolutely exploded into a new all-time high. In terms of the Solana value moved on-chain, we've totaled $145 trillion worth of value moved on-chain. That is absolutely insane. So Solana is looking like an absolutely fierce competitor right now to Ethereum. A quick reminder to lock in your Solana Chapter 2 mobile before they increase the price again. It's currently $500. It was $450 before if you got in on the founders window. I've already received over $250 worth of airdrops for the Solana Chapter 2, so it's almost paid for itself, and we haven't even seen an alt season yet. Now, let's talk about Wall Street and institutional adoption. GSOL, which is Grayscale's Solana traded product. This is currently still trading at a 700% premium, signaling massive institutional interest. But let's talk about institutional adoption as a whole and move on to the Bitcoin segment. Real world assets, RWAs, and crypto tokenization of stock traded products are becoming very prominent. Over $1 billion in US Treasury notes have been tokenized. Now, these are predominantly taking place on Ethereum, but I want to remind you that the whole purpose of Solana is to put the NASDAQ on the blockchain, to put these stock market traded products, equities, commodities, all tradable on Solana on decentralized exchanges like Jupe. This is just a cool crypto use case that you might want to keep your eyes on. This is a sign of institutional adoption nonetheless. Speaking of institutional adoption, let's look at the Bitcoin ETF flows that have just passed in the past week. We haven't got Friday's data yet, but from Monday to Thursday, all of the ETF flows have turned positive, although not a crazy amount of inflows at this moment in time are happening. Nonetheless, cumulative flows are near their all-time highs, and we've already seen healthy adoption since January. And here's what's interesting. If this percentage keeps on going up, if ETFs keep on acquiring more Bitcoin, where's that Bitcoin going to come from? So far, Coinbase has been the main seller of Bitcoin to these ETFs. And you can see in the past year, the Coinbase Bitcoin balance has been dropping like a rock. They now only hold 312,000 Bitcoin available for sale. Across all exchanges, Bitcoin balances have dropped by 10 billion in 2024. And this is a dynamic on the scale which we have not seen in previous bull runs. Coming into the major rally that happened late 2020, coming into 2021, yes, we did see a decrease in the Bitcoin on exchanges. But right now, the Bitcoin on exchanges is the lowest since early 2018. There's a lot of pent-up demand right now. And once again, I've been saying this for a while, but there is going to be a supply shock at some point soon. And this supply shock is coming into the halving, which is only 20 days away, which is going to tie into the charts. Once again, guys, 20 days away is when the next halving is going to be. And typically, after you have that halving and after you break that previous all-time high, that is when the bulk of gains are made in every single cycle. So once again, in the macro, I'm not looking for a major correction. I'm looking for a absolutely explosive move to the upside and for Bitcoin to come to new all-time highs and 100K a lot sooner than most people think. People always underestimate bear markets and people always underestimate bull markets. That's just how it is. But for bull markets, they underestimate how quickly the bulk of the gains can happen in just 6 to 12 months. In the lower time frames though, there are some concerns. Bitcoin recently topped out halfway through March around about 74,000 and it is showing a little bit of weakness at this moment in time. We did have a V-shaped recovery from that local low down here at 60,800. However, at this moment in time, we've been creating something of a rounding top, and I do just want to point out, being completely unbiased, covering the bull and the bear, that we are forming some regular bearish divergence on the MFI at this moment in time. This is because the price action's been making highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, and the oscillator has been making highs, lower highs, and lower highs. Typically, these divergences can form for long periods of time, especially on the daily time frame, but you often know that the divergence is going to start taking full effect when you start creating your first set of lower highs, letting you know that this divergence is about to play out. So, am I telling you to sell all your Bitcoin coming into the halving? No, that's not what I'm saying. Am I telling you to short? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying to be cautious. In the macro, we're extremely bullish, and I expect the bulk of the gains to happen very soon. However, I do want you to be aware that pullbacks are healthy and they do happen in bull runs. We haven't seen a major pullback yet, and coming into the halving, we typically see, a correction that takes place for, a week or so. In this cycle over here, 2016, it lasted for about a month. In this cycle, we traded sideways for about a month. In this cycle, we traded sideways for about a month. It's completely healthy. It happens. Does it have to happen this cycle, especially with institutional demand? No, it doesn't, because institutions aren't as privy of this data as us. Institutions will probably see there's a Bitcoin halving, talk about supply and demand, and they'll just buy based on that. Institutions are far more interested in things like DCF flows, liquidity, how Bitcoin will be looking in the next 1 to 2 years on their balance sheet. They won't be looking at things like technical analysis as much as me and you. Also on the weekly time frame, Bitcoin stochastic RSI is topping out. So this is just another thing to be slightly cautious of. So in my opinion, there's two different scenarios. Bitcoin's probably going to top out now, or it's probably going to top out after it pushes up a little bit further at 82,000. I really won't be trying to time the market. This is just information to keep your eyes on if you're trading the market. If you're holding your swap bags, this shouldn't affect you whatsoever. I'm personally not in any trades right now. I'm just looking at these ranges out of interest. So keep your eyes on the local top that happened at 71,650. If we start pushing above this level, then the MFI could become more and more overextended, and in the slightly higher time frames like the weekly, we could definitely push up and become as overextended as the 1.236 fib at 81,750, coming into the halving and then potentially having a correction for a week or so, maybe a month after the halving. Those are the two scenarios I see. Both of them include a slight cooldown period after the halving. But let's now move into the charts for Solana. So we just talked about Bitcoin, right? We just talked about how Bitcoin may see a correction coming very, very soon. Is that the case for Solana? Well, it's definitely not the case. Let's dive right into this now. So in terms of the macro for Solana, we are still relatively undervalued compared to how Bitcoin's doing. And we'll talk about that in the Sol BTC chart in a sec. But on the higher time frame, Sol is looking very, very nice. We talked about how every single time we break that previous all-time high, we go on a crazy rally to the upside. And right now, from the high to the low, Solana has just flipped above the 618, come back down on the weekly time frame, back tested it, and now we're pushing back up. On the weekly, Sol has got a green, red, green formation, which is typically a sign of bullish continuation. That's when you're in a healthy uptrend. You have 1 week of a pullback, which is healthy, resetting momentum, and then you continue back up. That's a very good sign. So where's the next stop for Solana? Well, we've already tapped the 786 Fibonacci at $200 approximately, but the main area that I've got my eyes on is a new all-time high above $270 for Solana. Now let's look at this on the 4-hour time frame. On the weekly, it looks something like this. We had 1 week up, we had that red week back down, and now we're pushing back up. On the 4-hour time frame, you can see that we've formed something of an asymmetrical triangle or a bullish pennant, depending on how you want to look at it. Now, the bull flag pennant takes us up to around about $350. The asymmetrical triangle price target takes us to $250, which is almost a new all-time high. So right now, Solana is looking very good in my opinion, and while Bitcoin may have a correction, this doesn't mean that Solana needs a correction. Solana BTC is so undervalued right now. It's hit the 618 fib, had a correction. It's got a green, red, green right now. I think we're going to see continuation very, very soon. And one major thing I want to leave you on is the fact that I really do think alt season is coming very, very soon. Now, for people on Solana, it may seem like we're already in an alt season. Because if you've been trading Solana, if you've just been holding Solana on spot, yeah, we've been outperforming all other alts. But if, like myself, and like I've been talking about in my videos, if you've been trading these meme coins, if you got in on Whales, if you got in on Whiff, if you got in on Chunky, if you got in on Triangle, if you got in on all of these calls that I've been making over the past couple of months, these calls have been doing 10x's, 100x's. We called D-Trump, which did over a 700x. That made me absolutely disgusting gains. We're already seeing an alt season on Solana, but we're not seeing an alt season for the rest of these markets. Take Cadena, for example, a project which I really like and I think it's got good fundamentals, but the charts just aren't saying alt season right now. So here's what I'm seeing. This is the Bitcoin dominance. As you can see, you know, these peaks over here and these cascades to the downside, when the Bitcoin dominance starts to break down, this is when your alt seasons happen every single cycle. Now, we don't have to top out at this exact level, but this is a steep area of resistance for Bitcoin right now. And every single cycle in the future, the Bitcoin dominance is likely to make lower and lower highs. Why? Because there's more and more altcoins. Even if Bitcoin's number one, if you create, you know, for example, 5,000 new altcoins every single day. Right now, 1.5k altcoins are being made a day on Solana, even if they've only got, you know, $10, $100, 10k, 100k across these different altcoins. There's more and more of them, so the Bitcoin dominance goes down. But we haven't seen that major drop right now, and I think this is going to come somewhere very soon, and maybe around about the halving. So let's say Bitcoin doesn't even break down. Let's say retail sells into the halving, but institutions buy into the halving, and the Bitcoin chart does something like this. You know, let's say this is the top. We just trend sideways. You know, we don't do anything crazy. I'm not calling for like something like this, but we just trend sideways coming into the halving. That is the best case scenario for alt season, because Bitcoin has been on a tear to the upside, and typically alt seasons happen when Bitcoin finds a local top, trends sideways or corrects, and then altcoins go parabolic because there's a rotation of profits from Bitcoin into alts, because people in Bitcoin are looking at alts and they're saying alts are going crazy right now, let me rotate some of my profits. and then that's when alt season starts. We haven't seen alt season yet, so I think some point soon, alt season could go absolutely crazy, and we could see Sol BTC massively outperform, we could see Solana massively outperform, and this is where we could see Solana going to these price targets we've been talking about in accordance to the previous ETH fractals, anywhere between, $850 to $1.3 thousand. So that's all I've got for today, guys. There's a lot of interesting charts, a lot of interesting news that I wanted to talk about today. Even though it's my birthday, just wanted to get this video out for you. I'm now going to edit this video. I'm going to upload this video. If you guys want to talk to me in the comments, or if you want to chat to me in my Discord, I'll be in here today. But either way, if you enjoyed, smash like on the way out. I'll see you in the next one. It's been your boy Cowboy Trades. I'm out. Peace.